what's up, everybody? Welcome to Verbalize. I'm your host, Christina.
And I'm Tamara.
Happy Monday.
I know, today's Monday.
Fresh start of a new week. Second week of November already. Mm-hmm. Time is flying.
I can't believe it's getting ready to be 2011.
Girl, I
in
know.
like a month and a half. It's crazy.
I feel like we just celebrated the millennium like a couple years ago. It's like
I know.
The whole, 10 years have passed. So yeah. It's mind-blowing. But it's fun. You know. Thanksgiving festivities are going on already. Christmas decorations are out, like in the malls.
I was at a store the other day. No, actually, I was in the mall and I seen all the Christmas trees. Mm-hmm. I guess Santa is coming to town pretty soon, so everyone's going to be taking their kids to go see Santa Claus.
And it's getting cold really fast. It hit 30 degrees this weekend, girl.
We had freezing temperatures. Yeah, I had to turn my heat on too.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's starting to get.
So what'd you do this weekend?
Shopped.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah. I went shopping. I caught a lot of good deals too, guys. A lot of good deals.
Yeah.
That was all.
There's a lot of sales going on right now.
Spent a little money. What did you do this weekend?
I enjoyed the whole weekend. I had a great time. So I wanted to go to the movies, but I didn't get a chance to. There's a big movie out this weekend.
Big movie For Color Girls by Tyler Perry.
Did you see it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. But people on Twitter are kind of getting on my nerves. They keep tweeting about the movie and giving their opinions about it. Yeah, exposing
what the movie's about.
Things of the movie, and I just don't like that. But I've been hearing mixed reviews about it.
Me too.
Some people say it was good. Some people are just like, oh my gosh, what did he do?
Right.
The timeline wasn't consistent, and I'm just like, I don't know. But I know the movie, he renamed it For Color Girls, but the actual name of it is For Color Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Isn't Enough. And it was actually a Broadway play.
Correct, yep.
And it actually won a Tony Award too, which is like really big in the Broadway plays. That's like the best award that you can win for a Broadway play.
Right.
I think it was based out in like 1975. It was a stage play there, but it started out as a series, as 20 poems, and it was about 7 different women whose names were colors. They went by colors, like the lady in red, the lady in blue.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of started out like that, and it looks from the previews of the movies that he tried to summarize up these 20 different poems about these 7 different women into like one movie. And I heard that, people say he really didn't do a good job at blending it that way. And that a lot of people felt kind of lost towards the end. It was just like so many different storylines going on at once. But I haven't seen the movie yet. I would love to see the movie and base my own opinion off of it. But it's heavy. And he received a lot of criticism for the movie because people, he's still getting that backlash from Precious.
Right.
Even though I think, Precious was a little bit over the top. However, I think he makes movies that people are afraid to do, that people are afraid to talk about. But it's
I think
real
it's really
issues.
hard that, when you're going after a Tony Award-winning Broadway play, you're always going to get paired and critiqued extra hard because there is a history of where that storyline came from. So the critics in the movie industry and in the film industry are going to go hard on him. Did it match the play? Did it live up to the dramatics or whatnot? Did he tell the story like it was supposed to be told?
Yeah.
But I think from a performance level, as the audience, people that just go see Tyler Perry films.
That are a fan of his.
They're a fan of his and they think that it's amazing. They think that it's deep. But I guess it goes over their life over the course of a few days. And there's very, very brutal, dramatic happenings that occur with each woman.
Like
some examples are abortion,
love, abandonment,
rape, abuse, and apparently it's really brutal scenes. And I haven't seen it again, so I know that some critics have said that it was unbearable and they almost wanted to walk out of the theater.
Oh, wow.
So I'm really curious to see what that's all about and what particular scene that inspired that person to say that. But I think Tyler Perry, like you said, he likes to push the envelope. He likes to do different things. He definitely likes to prove a point. He likes to tell a story. He likes to give lessons, which I think is really important. But it's a big movie for African-American women.
Yes, it is.
And I think it speaks a lot about what they go through, what women go through. That's very much taboo. We don't talk about it, and we're kind of expected as women to be strong and just overcome it. But, I think that there's a lot of things that are unspoken and unsaid that happen behind closed doors, and he put it on film. And I just heard it's very emotional and kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, it is. I've heard that. I actually know a girl that is an actress that was a stand-in for Phylicia Rashad in the movie. And she was just like, one of the scenes, it was so somber, so emotional all day that everyone on set could not stop crying. Like they just could not pull themselves out of that emotional state that everyone was in that day. And she was like, when she went to the premiere, she was like, it was kind of hard for her to really get into the movie because it's different when you work on a movie set and when you go actually see the movie. Like you never really look at it the same.
Right.
And I've kind of had that experience from working on different like TV shows. And now I can never really watch TV shows the same. I'm always paying attention to like the different backgrounds and things that are going on behind the scenes. So, but she was just like, it was still really sad, but it was kind of hard for her.
Well, speaking of the actresses too, because it's a really like powerful cast of actresses, and I think there's been a lot of critique about that they underplayed their talent. There's a lot of women there on that screen: Kerry Washington, Whoopi Goldberg, Felicia Rashad,
Tandy Newton.
Exactly, and they're so talented. And there's a lot of critiques going on that he did not utilize their talent to the fullest, which I think, again, that's more from a production standpoint. Us as an audience, I don't know that we would really see that as much, because you do see them crying and them getting emotional, which to us is good acting. So I'm just curious to see it. Definitely want to check that out this week.
We're going to have to go see that.
Yeah, me and you, boo. It'll be a date night.
See how that
Also,
goes.
a big thing that's going on right now, obviously, is we've just gotten in the polls for the midterm election. That was last Tuesday that we went out and voted, or you're supposed to go vote anyway. Yeah. And we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, the results are coming in, and unfortunately, there's been a huge shift in what's going on in the House of Representatives. And Democrats lost 60 seats in the House, and the Republicans have somewhat, you could say, taken over as far as majority rules. And they're already speaking about what they're going to do, what kind of changes they're going to make, and they're saying, quote unquote, that they want to listen to the people. They want to listen to the Americans, okay? That's your own opinion if you think Republicans listen to the Americans or not, but that's what they're saying. They're going to change gears, and they're going to cut spending and focus more on putting money where it needs to go. So it's very interesting what's going to happen. I'm a little bit concerned. I think there's a war of politics going on right now.
I definitely think so. I'm scared for our country within the next couple of years. It really is, because you just don't know what to expect. And I feel like whatever the outcome is, it's not going to be good. And I feel like, why wasn't there as much effort put into the midterm elections as it was for the presidential elections? I feel like that all those people that had a voice, that really made their voice heard in 2007, 2008, that those people were void this election.
Exactly.
And I feel like so many people, and even my people as well, we were just so happy just to finally get a African American president in office, that we were excited about the thought of having it. So that made us want to push harder and get more and more people out there.
But there wasn't the same passion.
It wasn't.
To sustain what we got in 2008.
I didn't see
really
any ads, like any campaigns really going on. It was just like
a huge
we got
lack
him
of
in
awareness.
office, but no one really fought to keep him in office. It's like there's still a fight ahead of us. We still have to fight to keep him in office. We still have to fight to get him elected for the next term. And I don't think people understand how
a lot of the things he's tried to enforce, unemployment being extended, the mortgage system and healthcare, extending loans and allowing people to stay in their homes. He's done a lot of things like that, and obviously the Republicans don't agree with that. And so in that, with the first week or two in office, they're already saying they're going to overturn those and appeal those. And so it's like all the work that Obama's tried to put in place is going to be shaken up and kind of turned over. So again, it's going to be really interesting the next 2 years to see what plays out. Obviously, I believe that a Republican is going to probably take term next time we vote for a president, which is unfortunate, because it's always who's against who. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't do a good job? Okay, the Republicans, shame on you. Last term, so now we need a Democratic, all about change. He's not doing a good job, so shame on you. So now we're back to Republicans. And what I would like to focus on, I wish we had a bigger voice to talk to Americans, but people just need to be unified. It's like, what is this segment of
it's sad
people
that something tragic has to happen
each other
for us to unite as one? Like when 9/11 happened, that was the only time that I really felt like that all races, all nations came together and just really united as one. But it was sad that something that tragic had to happen for us to unite as one. I just look at it as that it's just not going to be a good thing. And it's like,
Well, it's
we
all about
want change and we
pointing
voted
fingers
for
right now.
change, but we have to keep voting and we have to keep expressing ourselves and keeping ourselves heard to make sure that that change stays into action.
Right.
Nothing is going to happen overnight. And I also believe that they say only 4% of African Americans voted, which is just absolutely sad and ridiculous compared to the number of turnouts
Right.
that we had in 2008.
Very discouraging.
And a lot of people just feel like they expected change overnight. And we had that discussion backstage. We said, you know, he has done some wrong things. He's not perfect. But I think that the people expected him to get in office and make things happen overnight. And it's not going to go that way. And he even stated that, you know, when he gave his speech and said that, you know, all the changes may not happen within my first term. It may take my second term for me to get everything into action.
That's Americans' mindset. They want instant gratification. They want things to happen yesterday. No one, again, understands the amount of, you know, turmoil
and pressure.
And issues that he had on his plate. So to try to work through that in a year or two, it's really ridiculous. Because even had Bush stayed in office, do you think he could have cleaned up everything in 2 years? Let's be fair.
And he started it pretty much. But I don't think people have to give him credit. Like, he took over this country at like it's one of the worst times
in American history, almost.
And you have to give him credit for coming in and trying to change that. But we as a people, we keep screaming about this change. We have to make sure that we're doing our part too. Don't be so excited just to have an African American president in office and you're still not doing anything to make sure that, you know, we keep them there.
Right.
You know, let's support for the
our
right
age
reasons.
group, 20, 30-something-year-olds did not go out and vote. The percentages, again, plummeted. It's very discouraging to see. People did not participate. And so in that, you can't really shake your head and say, how dare you? And, you know, our government sucks. Well, you guys have to use your right to vote. And a lot of people did not do that in our age group. So that's very disheartening. But again, I think it's not about taking sides, Democratic, Republican, whatever. It's about doing what's right by the people of America, making sure that we make our economy stronger, create jobs, get rid of debt. We have got so much debt, it's ridiculous. We're in the trillions, which that's always going to be there. I get it. But it has gone above and beyond anything that we can control. So there's pros and cons of what Obama has done. But I think, you know, we are on a steady incline, which is most important. So we got to continue, like you said, to contribute as citizens to America, to our country, and just try to not be so divided if we can get there. I don't know. It'll take a while.
Think we also have to think back to where we didn't even have the option, women, to even vote.
Right.
And especially African Americans with the percentage only being 4%. It's like, that should be a blessing that we've come so far.
For us to be able to vote.
Exactly. So it's, why not take advantage of this opportunity? You can't complain about the world if you're not willing to do your part in trying to fix it and change it.
Right.
So we just got to do better as a people. We have to do better as a whole community and just come together for what's right. Even, I would feel better knowing that a Republican went in office. I would feel better knowing that at least all of the people actually voted. I would rather them win fair and square that way, for everybody to have coming out and voted, for them to win because it was lack of votes.
Right. I feel you on that, definitely. Well, what's done is done.
Yeah.
So we got to move forward. We'll see how it goes. Everybody say a prayer for our country.
Yes, we definitely
need it. And, you know, we got to continue to be uplifting and try to move forward and get this country back where it needs to be. So that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
But anyway, so enough of that.
Enough of that. And on that note, we're going to cut out of here for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to continue daily and watch for hot topics and hot guests. I'm Tamara.
I'm Christina.
Thanks for watching.